And hello, everybody. It's me, Nick slash Touch Fuzzy, back making things in RPG Maker MZ again. This time, we're working on what I just called a complex switch puzzle. I didn't know what to actually call it. I'm gonna zoom in because I'm only using like this little middle part. The basic idea, which by the way, if you haven't noticed, I'm using a different tile set. This has a lot of cool parts, but I'm not actually using them in the middle. This is the uh, Legendary Palace's Griffin tile set, which you can find on the Digica shop, and you can also find it on Steam. This was one of the new packs from this week. I thought it was a really cool looking pack. You can see a lot of really cool things. The one thing is I did add these two right here by editing this right here. I just grabbed that little center piece right here and darkened it and brightened it with some Photoshop. You can kind of see, because I was going to do like this, and then whenever, you know, a switch is on, it turns on. Block those out, because there's going to have to be some events to do that. That was cool. I liked the new set. I think it's a really good one. I really like these, the cloth. I think the cloth is really nice. Like I said, I'm not using a lot of the really fancy pieces because I needed the area for what I'm working on. But I just, I really like the Legendary Palaces packs. So, cool. All neat. But, the basic idea of this tutorial, I'm gonna draw all these back on here. So we're gonna have 9 little of those, and then we're gonna have a whole bunch of not a sci-fi switch, regular switch. Now with green and gold because that matches the rest of this. Oh, and let me make it below characters. I want to step on them. And they shouldn't be action, they should be. The basic idea is we're going to start with some of these up here on and some of them off, right? I know we've all seen these kind of puzzles. Let me grab. Again, I might have to make these at the events. But let's say, you know, these start on, those start off, and you're trying to turn all of them on. So if you press this button here, it turns this one on, but it also toggles both of these. Then if you step here, it will turn that one, it will turn this one off, and then also turn these off. It basically just toggles whichever one. Then say you step in the middle, and it will turn this one on and turn this one off. It just toggles whichever ones are adjacent to the thing, and your goal is to try to turn all of them on. First of all, let's actually make these as event. Now, this part is pretty easy, right? These have nothing but, so they're going to use the tile set B, or it helps if I don't click off of it. Tile set B, and we're going to use the dark. And it needs nothing. We're going to do same as characters. It doesn't do anything. The only thing we need is a second event page that has it with the light on. And so this one be like switch. Go with light 1, and we're going to number them just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guess I could just go all of them here. I could if I click on the name box, huh? So the funny thing is, I have like started to realize that the actual puzzle part of this is incredibly simple. The part that's going to be a little more tricky is I can't count. Apparently 6, 7, not 6, 8. But when I started thinking about it, the hard part's actually going to just be having the various switches be pressed down when you're standing on them. pop back up when you're not standing on. But we're going to do this for our first part. So this one's light 1. This is pretty much all that you really need right here. Paste. Paste. Nice if I paste, paste. Paste all of them in place. And then we need to edit them to change this switch. 1, 2, 3. 4. I like these boring things because I'm just sitting here switching one thing on each of these, and y'all get to watch me just switch them. So also this, I will say, so one thing they added to Vistastella recently is something called map, like map level switches, which is where certain switches are map dependent, like and variables. And this is the perfect reason to use something like this, because this is having to take up 9 switches to do this, right? And that's a lot of switches. But if it was map dependent, and because you'll never have to reference if these switches are on and off on any other map. So the next thing we want to do is turn some of these on and off. So I'm just gonna make an auto run. You could also do it with self switches and then use Vistastella's commands to flip the self switches instead of using regular switches, because we're going to have to switch them from a different event, and you normally can't switch self switches from other events, but there are some abilities to do that. So what we want here is an auto run. We're just going to control some switches, turn some of them on and some of them off, or leave some of them off. So we're going to let's turn 3... I'm doing the same thing I normally do. I'm just going to select some at random. I might make a too easy puzzle, but we'll know that after I look at it. 8. And yeah, I guess just 3, 4, 5, 9, and then turn on new self switch. And this is just to make it go to a new event page where self switch A is on. Turn this off. This is just a go. Hey, let's turn specific switches on. So 3, 5, 8, 9. So 3, 5, 8, 9. Those are the ones that should be turned on. Let's play test and make sure that all right. So yeah, those are now on. The next thing I need to do is figure out how to make each of these switches, when I step on them, flip the various switches. This is actually pretty simple. There are 2 ways to do certain parts of it. I have a little thing that I think will make it easier, but we'll see. So this switch here, it's player touch, and I'm going to not worry about making it press down when you step on it yet. I am going to have it, let's see, I'm going to have it play a little sound, which I have let me turn that back on. Because I always fade out the music on my OBS mixer when I end it for the intro. Let's see. Play sound effect. Sound effect. I know that my brain, audio and video. Play sound effect. And you just need like a click. So like, let's look for switch. I think switch is the name of the ones that I'm looking for. There we go. That's good enough. We'll have it play that. And then let's see. So it needs to toggle one. Also, something just disconnected on my computer. I heard the doo-doo, but I don't know what it was. I hope it was nothing important. My mic says it's still working, so it's not my mic. And clearly it's not my headset, because I can still hear my headset. So anyway, so it should do toggle 1, 2, and that is 4. So the thing is, there's two ways you can do this, right? The first is do a conditional branch. A conditional branch. You want to check if light 1 is on or not, and it does need an else branch. So if it's on, you want to control switch light 1, turn it off. If it's not, you want to copy, paste, and if it isn't, you want to turn it on. So this is one way to do it. Yeah, I don't know if something was charging with USB. I don't think so. I honestly have no clue what disconnected. I occasionally get that, and I think it's something. I think it's my speakers sometimes slightly disconnect, but I'm not using my speakers right now, so it doesn't really matter. So this is one way to do it, and it works. It says, is the one you're looking at on? Is it? If it's not, turn it off. If it is, turn it off. If it isn't on, turn it on. And you could do this, and you go copy, paste, paste. And then we go, this should be 2. Edit, this one should be 2. Edit, 2. I like how it remembers the last one you selected. So you only have to select it once. So like this one should be 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this should be 4. This should be 4. Okay, that's one way to do it. And I'm going to test it really quick. As you do. We'll see if it toggles the ones it should. So it does, right? It turns that one and the adjacent ones on and off. But I saw something on. Delete these out. I was Googling, and you can always do like, so new. We're gonna do a script, and okay, so I think that I have that this will do it. Hold on, let me make sure I'm gonna switch the right thing. So I saw this on. Let's see, toggle switch. So it's either that. So my brain does not do JavaScript, by the way. I'm just going by someone else saying this works. I haven't tested it, and I don't remember. I think this is where you put the thing. It's like things like that. So switch 1, 2, 4, or is it? Or is it this first one? I think. We will check. I think it may be this first. Let's see if this works. So if I go 1, 2, 4, let's see if it toggles. I do not know. Again, this is a test. I read it on a forum post, and I don't know how it works. Let's see. I'll check that out. That's neat. Wait, now it's not working. What did it do? Like, it did it once. Why would it only do it? Why would it stop working? Let me go to playtest again. I'm curious as to what's going on. This is the problem with using its switch number boolean. Yeah. So it works for one cycle, then it stops working. That's interesting. Well, it was interesting, and I would have to go into it and figure out why it's not working. Do you think Will that work? Let me check what now. All right. So 1, 2, 4. Now sucks. Or now so X. I don't know which one it is. The X pronounced separately from the rest? Or 1, 2, 4. Okay. Let's see. I don't know JavaScript, so it's again one of those things that I was just like, hey, can I do this in an easier way? Oh, Boolean is not defined. That does not work. Now so X. Anyway, I know I can do it the other way, which is the conditional branches one. So we're gonna really quickly go back to that. So he says true or false. Well, I need to toggle it though. That's set to. My point is, I want to be able to just step on it and it will. Yeah, but I don't need to set it to true or false. I need to be able to set it to either of them based on the situation. Like, I need to be able to toggle it instead of going just to straight set it. Which is what this is going to do. This is fine. I can do it with this. If I had had more time, I would have... Oh, I needed to give this an else. Switches, like... That needs to be on. Okay, this... We know this works. And this is just... The other one was just a shortcut anyway, even if I could get it to work. And I know there is a way to get it to work. I'm sure that if several people I know were here, they would tell me what stupid thing I don't know about JavaScript that I could have done that. Could have done it really quick with scripts. But that's fine. I'm more interested in the fact that it worked once and then stopped working after it cycled through once. So I'm not sure how it would have worked once and then not worked again. But okay, so 1, 2, 4. This is now going to work for what I was trying to do. Now I need to delete these and actually replace them with this and change which numbers that each of them alter. And some of them alter more numbers. So, for instance, this second one here does 1, 2, 3, and 5. Did I forget to change something on that first one? One, 2, 4. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4. This one is 1, 2. This one needs to be 3. Yeah, that would probably be the way to do it. It just feels like there should be a toggle, right? Like, it just seems like that would be easier than having... So this one's 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to do 3 here. And then the last one is... 5, because it's the center one. I don't know. I'm just being picky. Sometimes it's better to do something the way you know how to do it, even if it's not technically the most efficient, especially when it's something this small, right? If it was going to save me hours of time to do it with script calls, it would be like really, really worth doing. But like in this case, I'm like, I know how to do it this way. This is easy. I just think that like it would be nice if there was operation, like just add one right here that is toggle, where it's like you could do that, right? Just if you had toggle right there where it just flips to whichever the other one. There's only two options. Just switch to whatever the other option is, and I can think of a lot of uses for that. Maybe I should send that to CGG as a suggestion for an improvement for the engine. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, this was 1, 2, 3, and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 5. That is correct. This one should be 2, 3, 6. So this is I can change less by, let's go cut. I also like them being in order. I know that's weird and unnecessary. Like I don't have to put them in the order they actually go in. Like I could have done 3, 2, 6 and it would have been fine. For some reason, I really like having them in the order they go in. The thing is, this, like once I finish doing this, and it's pretty simple, right? I'm going to actually be done with the puzzle itself. The thing to figure out is trying to figure out how to make these stay depressed when you're standing on them and pop back up when you're not. I think I can do it with a parallel. Pretty sure. We will see. It'll be interesting. Okay. So. This one, which one am I looking at? This is 4. So 4 needs to do 1, 4, 5, 7. 1. 4. 4. 4. So while I'm doing something that is just repetitive, what has everyone been working on with their project? Have you gotten a lot done, or are you like me? Which, you know, I want to get stuff done, but also real life. Real life takes a lot of time. Who knew? 7, 7. Okay. So 1, 4, 5, 7. This middle one has the most. It operates everything but 1, 3, 7, 9. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 5. So all the evens plus 5. I'm gonna need 5 entries here. Again, where I want it. Okay, 2. This needs to be 4. Yeah, it's amazing things where you want to have things done, but unfortunately, to have things done, you have to do them, right? Okay, this is 5. I need to take better notes. I spend a lot of time. The way I design stuff a lot of times is I think about it while I'm trying to go to bed. And it's really useful because I can think a lot while I'm laying in bed. It's really not useful because if I stop and actually write down everything I'm thinking while I'm lying in bed trying to go to sleep, I will just stay awake. So like, you know, I don't take notes a lot. Get a lot done in my brain while I'm going to bed, but sometimes I forget parts of it. A lot of it's trying to think of how to do certain things in the engine, and then I don't have access to it right in front of me to test it. So let's see. This one is 3569. Yeah, I don't think I want to make a voice memo because, you know, my wife might not like that. She might disagree with me coming to bed late at night and then like recording voice memos while she's trying to sleep. Probably not a good way to get on her good. Um, which one am I editing? Yes, I want to start changing. I think I already edited this one. 236. Okay, I meant to edit this one. This one needs to be 3, 3, 4, or 3, 5, 6. There was a while in which, because I snored so badly, we actually had 2 different bedrooms, and then I could have done it that way. Um, but I got that treated at a doctor. 356. Now it's not, you know, can't justify using 2 whole rooms in our house when we have a giant king bed. No, it is funny though because like it's one of those things, right? Um, I'm busy a lot, right? Like everybody is, right? We are a busy society. So most of my actual thinking is done while I am doing other things, like trying to go to bed, like taking a shower. Times when what I'm actively doing isn't brain consuming. So I spend a lot of time designing ideas in my head and then not writing them down because my hands are busy doing something else, or I'm doing something where if I was to start doing something with my hands, it'd keep me awake. Yeah, I'll just go back to snoring. 3569. So 3569. That is correct. I'm almost done with these. All right. So this one is just 3, and it is 4, 7, 8. I am almost guaranteed to have messed up on at least one of these. I'm gonna have to really step all over all of these to make sure that it is working correctly. It was 4, 7, 8. Anytime you are batch editing, like where you have like one thing and you are changing that event like with a bunch of different changes like this, where it's just mind numbing, where you go do the same thing over and over and over again, uh, you are going to make a mistake. It's almost impossible not to. Um, Especially like right now, I'm hardly looking. I'm just like 478, really quickly checking. I'm gonna do this one next, middle, because this was 3. So it is 6, 8, 9. 6, 8, or 6. Needs to be still be 6. Still doing the first one. Then this one needs to be. Stop double clicking. Eight. Just the same thing over and over again. I still haven't done middle center. Okay. 666. 888-999. All right, that one's done. Ah, okay. This one needs 4. Edit, copy those. And this one is 5, 7, 8, 9. I have trapped you. You are all watching me do basically the most boring thing you could possibly do in RPG. I'm sure there is something more boring than just editing one event over and over again to do all the different things. But it can't possibly be much more boring. Like I'm trying to think. What could be literally the most boring thing to do? I guess the most boring thing to watch would be someone trying to troubleshoot like a uh some code, because troubleshooting code is just staring at it and like reading through lines of code over and over again. So that might be a little more boring than this. At least you guys get to see me open the same things over and over again. All right. This should now all of them should. That toggled it. Toggled all of those. Pretty sure it's working correctly. I almost got them all on. I'm starting to wonder if this is actually solvable. So it should be, because it is. There we go. Solved. I think it's always solvable. I don't think there is a way to make that not solvable. I'm doing this on just touch, so there's no clicking on and off, right? I can make pretty designs now. This is like actually, I'm kind of weirdly enjoying it. Anyway, so that works. Now, like, you would need something that happened if all 9 switches were on. Like, you could put a door here and have it open when all 9 switches came on. That's not hard to do. The other thing I was like, how can I make these depressed when I'm standing on them? Because the problem is, I could put a I could just have it go to a second, like another page, and then do a movement route, or I could have it do a movement route. But the problem is if I do a movement route, how do I tell it to come back up? I've had several ideas of like how you do this, and none of them seem like in my head to work very well. I think the way to go is to do it with a parallel processing event, and we're gonna see if I can do it. But I don't know. It's gonna have to do with move routes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to do it with just this top left one first, and then I can apply it to other ones. So the first thing I'm gonna do is do some. I love using, one of my favorite things is region IDs. They're very useful for a lot of things. So I'm going to go ahead and paint all of these with these region IDs. I like being able to just find the region ID that my character is standing on, and that gives me a better idea. And then I'm going to surround it with that way it covers when I step off of it. All right. So this is going to be not the most the word I'm looking for, I guess, is, I'm sure there's a more efficient way to do this, right? I think there probably is. But I think this is going to work. So we need a parallel process. Because we need to know two things. One is, did you step on one? And did you step off of one? So the things you need to do, we're going to make this a parallel process. I'm going to put a short wait at the beginning so that it's not just running crazy number of times. How do you get regional tiles to interact with that? Okay, so I'll show you what I was going to do. So we have get location info. You designate the player, and you grab the region ID. So now and these are old things. And so I'm going to drop it into region ID. That gives you the region ID of the player into a variable of your choice. Then you can use that information to do whatever you want to. So now that so every 5 frames, it's like technically it's every 6 frames because it takes 1 frame to do the actual the get location info. It's going to drop what region ID is. So what I want to be able to do is tell when the region ID I am on has changed. If it has changed, it needs to do something. It has not changed, it needs to do nothing. So what I need to do is then compare. I need a new variable. So I need a conditional branch. And I need to say, okay, so is this equal to check? So this, check change. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm almost certain there has to be a better way to do this, but I don't know what it is. If it's equal to it, or actually we need an else branch. Create else branch. So it's equal to it, we need it to do nothing. The else branch is going to cover all of the other things that could happen when it has changed. Then after it does all these things, we need to drop, we're going to control variables. We drop, we need to change check change into the region ID. So basically it's going to go, okay, did the region ID change? Cool. It did. We'll do something. Then we'll drop the check change into region ID. What this does is now the next time it runs through this, it will be checking against the check change button. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to, my brain is trying to explain what I mean. Basically, this is so that check change thing knows when you've changed. Like, if it runs through the first time, and during that time you stepped on the 10, check change is going to be 0 because it's going to be nothing so far, because I haven't stepped on anything. it will now be like, oh, it's not, the region ID 10 is not equal to check change. Then it's going to go to the else branch. And it's going to run whatever I put in here, which is going to be the stuff to make the things go up and down. And then it's like, well, if it isn't, and now it's going to make the region ID equal to check change. The next time it goes in, if I haven't moved off the 10, it's going to go, yeah, it's equal to 10. They're both equal to each other, and it's going to skip this because I'm not putting anything in here. Does that make sense? Am I making sense, or am I just like trying to explain something that's makes sense, but also is a little bit difficult to wrap your head around? Because the other things, I'm going to use check change for a lot of other things too, especially right here. So, okay, the next thing you need to do, if there is a change, you need to check if the one, okay. Let's see. It would be nice if these were the first 9. I don't think they are. Hold on a second. 2, 3. Oh, these match up. This lets me do a lot of cool stuff. All right. All right. So this is going to let me do something. I think. So those are the first 9. So they match up with the region ID that they're on. I think I can do something with that, but I'm not entirely sure. I feel like there was something I did before where I knew, where I used that information. But I don't think it's going to help. So, but it lets me know which ones I'm doing. So, first thing, I need another conditional branch. Make sure I'm building the right place, yes. I need another conditional branch. So if it moved, we need to know what the new one is, because whatever the new one is, so I'm going to just worry about, and so we're going to be like variable. So we're going to do a check change if it is equal to 1. Because remember, I'm only making it work for the top left one right now. So this is basically saying, is check change, the one I stepped off of, is it 1? That's all it's going to check. Then we also need the same thing, and we need the one we're stepping on. So this is going to now check by checking region ID. This is the one we are stepping on to. Now, the thing we need to do is set a movement route. And it needs to go 1. So, let's see. The turn is... Oh, okay, to lower a switch, the top one is down, or let me look it up. I can never remember this. Let me just look at an actor. So it's down, left, right, up. Okay. Event 1. Then we turn. So it's if it is, this is the one we're stepping on, correct? Yes. All right, so stepping on, that means we need to turn left, right, up. And we need some weights in here, so let's put a weight 5. All right, don't need a weight there. Cut, paste. All right. And then here, copy. We need to do the same thing, but in the opposite direction. So this is when we're stepping off. It needs to turn. Okay, so the first one, it's going to be turned up, so it needs to turn right. Then it needs to turn left. Let's get rid of this. And then it needs to turn down. Okay. This should now, when I step off of it, it runs this one, which makes it go up. And if I step onto it, it goes down. Let's see if it works. And this is only currently set up to work with the first one. Look at that. Oh, it didn't. Why did it... Okay, somehow I messed up and it didn't go back up. I also think I have a, why is it going up and down? It shouldn't go up and down if... There is something weird going on. Nope, that was the wrong button. Hey, Wrath, how you doing, man? Alright, let me check what's going on here. So, it's going up and down. And the only... Did I... Why? It should only go into that if it's changed. Let's see. Why is this 15 and 12? How? How is it getting 15 and 12? I did something weird. No, it's 12 and 10. How is it getting 12? Is it? Did I have add somewhere? Is that what I did? Did I add instead of set? No, I mean, all right. I'm making like a. I made a thing where you step on switches and it turns lights on and it flips off the adjacent lights. That part's working. This is doing something bizarre. So, okay. So, region ID. It's just dropping region ID into that thing. And then it's checking if it's equal to check change. And then if it's checking if it's 1 or 1. If it's 1, it does something. If it's not, it doesn't. Then it sets check change to region ID. How is it turning to 12 and 15? Like, I'm never on... I do not know what it's doing. Let's try this. Alright. So, first I'm going to open up the test. And we know... So, 0 and 0. That should be what it is, right? Just... Okay. How do I get out? Fine again? Oh. Alright. When I step on this, 10, it now should be 10 and 10. It's 10 and 10. Okay. I'm still on 10 and 10. What is it doing? I'm standing on region ID 1 and it is continuously changing the region ID to random numbers. This is wild. It's only when I'm on... Okay, so there must be something in this... For some reason, when it is on the one that has... I don't understand. I, like, literally do not understand why it's doing that when I'm standing on this. Let's try something. Let's, what do I need to do? What... Alright, well, let's just switch this to, like, 20. We're just gonna do it where this never activates. Because I'm never going to be on region ID 20. These now never activate. Alright. So now, if I go into F9, why does it think I'm on region ID 9? 5. Why? Yeah. for some reason, this one space, when I am standing on it, gives me just wild numbers for region ID. Location info. And I cannot figure out why. All the other ones work fine. Alright, let me see. Let's wait 5 frames. Get location info of the player. Let me make sure that I have the region ID. This one is 1. I am baffled. I'm going to change it to 11. If I change it to 11, is it still going to give me random numbers? I wonder if did I hit a bug? Is there some bug that I'm not aware of that... This is just wild. Okay, let's go. It should be 11. Alright. So, again, wait 5 frames. I'm going to get the location info. I'm going to check if it's the same as what it was already, because we'll know it's the same because it was down here. It's not. And then it checks to see if you're standing on 11, which is the one that is going to be event 1. Then it's going to make it go up or down based on whether it's changed or not. I have to like go into the other ones. Do I... Yeah, it's just still doing something. Yeah, it's just producing random numbers in the region ID. I wonder if there's like maybe it's a plugin or something that's going on. Maybe I need to change which variable I'm putting it into, but why would it only be on this spot? Why would it not matter what other... All right. So this is doing something weird. But what if we do... Okay, so we know that the 2 was working a second ago, right? Like, I don't understand what in the world. Just mind-boggling. So we're gonna switch it to event 2. Because when we were standing on region ID 2, it was working perfectly fine. Let's see if region ID 2 works. Now that nope, don't want to continue because that's gotta be... I'm gonna have to send this to someone else and try to figure out what is going on. See, it's working. But for some reason, when I am standing specifically on this one square, it's mind-boggling. Here's the thing, though. It seems to work now for the other one. See, that one's going up and down fine. It's doing a weird dance, but I probably just messed up the move route. Oh, well, now this one's dancing. And now it's doing it again. Now it's doing it for this one. I don't understand. Why is it giving me random numbers? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know what it could be in the... Okay, so there's that. Let's look at other things. All this is should only be affecting the switches. This only affects switches. These have no commands in it. there should be no ability for it to switch to anything else. I don't understand. Well, that's the problem, not sex. I need it to I need it to continue to check because it needs to know when I step off of it so it can pop the switch back up. Like it'll never know. Okay. I'm gonna try one more thing. You know what I'm gonna try? I'm gonna do this. Let us. Okay. Delete. I'm gonna make sure I have no plugins. There's no plugins. I'm going to update my core scripts. All right. Yeah, but then they'll stay popped down. All right. Until I step off the entire. Okay. Oh, there we go. It's giving me random numbers now. This is mind-boggling. Give me a second. I'm going to... you know what? We're going to come back to this. I'm going to probably... I may come back to this exact thing at the beginning of the next time I stream, which will be week after next, because I have got to figure out what is doing this, but like all I can do is continue to stare at the same things over and over again, right? There's nothing. So let's see. See, now it's telling me it continuously changes my region ID. Okay. Info type. Region ID. Of the player. Feral pet event is changing in the middle of the page. But where is it changing? There is no point where region ID, where that variable is touched outside of right there. Okay, so the reason I didn't want to do it with player touch events is because how do I tell it that I've stepped off of something? That I've stopped touching something? That's what I'm trying to do, right? I by stepping on, and this should work. There's no reason this should not work. The way I have it set up should 100% work. But it's just not. But it shouldn't, right? Because all it should do is change. Let's see. Ah! Okay. So. And see, it is already giving random numbers in the region ID. It continuously is changing. It shouldn't change. I am in one region ID. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's do this. The only thing I can think is that there is like something very weird going on with specifically using the designated by player variable. I don't know why it would be doing this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dump the player X and player Y into some variables and have it read it from there and see if that changes it. All right, so that would mean I need a new control variable. Actually, that's still a get location info. Get location info. We're gonna dump the player X designation by player X. Wait, no, that's not how you do it. It's game data. It is control variables. Game data. So we're going into player X. We are going to drop character player X. And then copy. No, not of event 3. Player. And then player map Y into player Y. Okay. That may do nothing to change what is happening. Oh. Well, the player in X and player Y at least is staying constant. It's like, for some reason... Okay, see, it's doing it here, too. The movement of the event under it is changing the region ID. And why would it do that? I have no idea. That is absolutely wild. Switch this back because we know that wasn't working. I'm going to send this to someone who knows way more than me, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what in the world happened. But I'm going to have to do it either just announce it on the forums in the description of the video, because in the forums I have the thread for the video, and I'll come back and try to tell you what's happening. Or I'll talk about it on the next stream, which next week is the last Thursday in May, and I'm taking the last Thursdays of each month off. There won't be a stream next week. We will have a stream the week after. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down for the night because I can't tell you why it's doing what it's doing. But I'm going to figure it out. And then I will tell you. I need to consult with people, and it's not fun to try to do that on stream. So anyway, I will talk to you later. It's nice to see everyone who dropped by. We have Skepsis. Tree of Horror dropped by. Nerd Mansion, now so X. Nikarasu also dropped by. And Wrath decided to drop by here at the end. Good to see you all. I will see you in 2 weeks, and of course also on the forums and social media and all that stuff. Everyone have a wonderful